now to Rick's Reviews. Every week we like to talk about several movies that are coming out.
Yep.
And Rick gave me the choice. Do you want to talk about The Conjuring? No, I don't. Or a new animated movie. So I chose the animated movie, but we did talk about The Conjuring earlier this week on Check Your Schedule, which you can see on KGET+.
And I can say I gave it a B-.
Okay.
And if you want to know a full review of The Conjuring, Last Rites, it's at kgt.com, so you can read about it.
Perfect.
But we're going to talk about Light of the World.
Yes, so what is this?
This is the latest movie based on the life of Jesus. Now, we've talked about this before. Do we really need another Jesus movie?
Right.
Jesus is the fourth most portrayed character in film and television.
Really?
Yeah, he's only behind the Devil, the Grim Reaper, and
James Bond. I'm just kidding.
and Santa Claus.
Santa Claus, okay.
Same thing. What I like about this, I will give the exception to do another one when it's this different. First off, it's animated.
Yes.
And it's animated designed, I think, to make the story of Jesus open to young people.
Yes.
The animators behind it had worked at Disney on projects like the animated Mulan, the animated Aladdin, and you can see it in the 2D animation. So it's beautiful to look at. What I really like about it is the fact that John, one of the apostles, is a young boy. And so I think what it's going to do is give young people an in. You know, what would it have been like to be a young boy who got to be with Jesus and the disciples? And I think that's going to make this a film that every Sunday school class in the United States is going to have a copy in their room that they can show, because it does open up the story. And they hit all the big points, the walking on water, curing the lepers. What I applaud them for was they could have bounced over the crucifixion.
Yes.
If you're doing a kids movie, that is a tough thing to do, but they didn't.
Okay.
Now they don't dwell on it, but we do see Jesus. We see him with the thorn of crowns. It's enough to give the film a PG rating.
Okay.
And that's what people need to know. That's why it gets it. I think what you're going to have is they touch on the crucifixion, but we don't see the grisly parts of it. But I think this is one of those films where either your child and you, or your child and their Sunday school teacher may have to have a conversation of what was really all that about. All we really end up finding out is Jesus telling John, that he's dead.
Yes.
Okay. So anyway, I love the film. I love the idea that they've taken a different approach to it. I love the animation in it. The music's great. I think it's a perfect opening for young people, and I think adults will like it. I miss 2D animation. I get why computer generated is used so much, but in this case, it works for this, especially if you're aiming at a young audience.
Yeah.
And so I give it a very solid B.
I think that's fantastic. So I have young ones in Awana. We do Bible study together. And sometimes there's these very complex ideas in the Bible that I don't know how to describe to them. So I thought this would be that we had an animated movie last year on Netflix they really enjoyed. I thought this would be a good one as well to share. But is this also good for people who are curious about religion but don't really want to dive into the Passion of the Christ or one of the really intense movies?
Yeah. Those will certainly jar you.
Okay.
This is a very safe and sane entryway into the story.
Nice.
And I feel like it's for all ages. I do like the fact that it is aimed at young people, because we don't get a lot of that. Most of the animated stuff is either so silly, or it's got so much adult humor to it that the kid's not going to really appreciate it.
Right.
But in this case, I think the intention was to get the story to an audience, either whether it be young or somebody who's in their 80s who don't quite know the story. Really, it's the highlights, but it will open up conversations.
I just love that. Thank you so much, Rick. I was so curious about this movie. I really wanted to hear your review. So thank you for sharing.
Yeah, go. Yeah, and it's safe for everybody.
That's fantastic. Always good to know. Thank you so much.
All right.
We'll wrap up this hour next with our Pet of the Week.